Welcome to the press conference for Daniil Medvedev. Please use the raise hand function if you would like to ask a question. State your organisation when asking your question. Who would like to ask the first question? Please raise your hand. We'll go to James Gray.
Daniil, congratulations.
Thanks.
I wanted to ask you about the moment after the first set when you touched your ear and you asked for a little bit more from the crowd a couple of times. It did sound like they were keener on Carlos than you. I don't know. You seem to enjoy the pantomime villain role. I just wonder what you felt about that.
Yeah, first of all, I like to interact with the fans. I feel like actually British fans in Wimbledon are the most, how we can call it, rational ones, because they don't really have the favorites except, of course, Roger, Rafa, and Novak, which is completely normal. And they go for everybody. And that's why actually I was kind of surprised, because I felt like especially we had good points and they were supporting me a lot. But then there were a lot of people like on double faults and stuff like this and really easy mistakes. So after I won the first set and it was an important moment, it was a break point, I was like, okay, I think he missed the shot. So I was like, okay, and now what's the difference? So that was the case. But again, they support everybody very well, and that's why I like Wimbledon.
I also wonder if I could ask you about the conditions on number one court today. There's been a lot of talk this week about the grass and the courts. How did you find it, both in terms of your footing and the pace of the court itself?
Today was perfect. Actually, again, I'm on a streak. I didn't fall down yet once this grass court season, so I want to continue it. But first match with Jan Leonard with the roof closed, humidity and rain. The court was super slippery, but which I find quite normal because what do you want from grass? And today was hot, dry conditions in a way, so was not slippery at all, at least for me. I was moving great, feeling great, and not much to say. Talking about is it fast or slow? Well, the grass is, we all know, is getting slower and slower. So except the surf, it's pretty slow, I would say. But still, if you manage to make a good flat strike, it still can slide on the ground.
Nick Callow.
Hi there, Daniel. Nick Callow from Hayter Sports Agency here. Talking about your interaction with the crowd, is that something you feel you need to do to bring out the best in you as a tennis player? There's a long history of players who have done well here, interacting like that before.
Oh, well, I definitely can do well without it also. I have already the examples. But again, yeah, I like to interact with the crowd, and it was nothing against them. It was to try to, pop them up a little bit on my side also. And I felt like it worked. Actually, I think some of the fans got angry, but when I say some, like I think maybe 10 people behind my right ear, because I was feeling them all the match later, but it was even fun. And the rest of the crowd, I felt like they enjoyed the match, and that's the most important.
If the seedings go through as planned, you'll meet Alex Zverev in the semi-finals. He said this morning that he's not here for quarterfinals or semi-finals. He's here to win the tournament. That's his mindset now. Is that the same for you too?
Oh, well, every tournament I play since I'm a junior, I try to win. Then sometimes, maybe when you're, I don't know, top 60 in the world, you're just coming up, you feel like maybe I'm not going to win a Grand Slam this week. Me, Sasha, Stefanos, Roger, Novak, Rafa, I think all the top 10 guys have the feeling that they are capable to do it because we're all in semis, finals. Sasha almost won his slam in US Open. I was in two finals. So we all know that we are capable to go far. So I think that's a mindset of everybody. But then you need to take it match by match, because if you lose third round, you're not going to be in the final.
Ben?
Hi, Daniil. Ben Rothenberg, New York Times. See you again. I'm writing a story today about Alexander Bublik, who won over Dimitrov. And I'm curious, you played him first round in Paris. Obviously, you're similar generation kind of Russian guys. I'm curious what you make of him as a player and as a person and a personality and everything. What makes him interesting from your perspective?
Yeah, he's definitely interesting. I think both for tennis and in life, I find him interesting. We can interact. I remember we actually went from Nice to St. Petersburg this year with a stop in Istanbul, and we were talking non-stop during the flight. And yeah, he's a fun guy. Again, really easy to interact and really interesting person to speak with. On the court, he's different from everybody. Maybe kind of similar to Nick, but I find him different and maybe a bit more serious to tennis. But yeah, I'm not gonna comment on this part of side because I'm completely different if we talk about tennis. But again, he's super different from everybody, and that's what makes him so interesting.
Can you just expand on that a little bit? Just what you mean by different? Like, what does he do that's not as normal as what the average player does?
I mean, he goes for crazy shots, maybe when there is no need to, but that's how he is, and there are not many players like this, you know. Like if we talk about me, I could do twinners all day long when I have like 5-1 today or something like this, but I'm just too focused. Okay, I want to win the next point, I want to win the next game, and yeah, when we played in Roland Garros, I remember he made an underarm serve, which he always does on the break point. He won the point, and all these small things. He has a crazy talent, a crazy touch since he was a young kid. As you said, we knew each other for a long time. So he was always going for this type of shots, and he doesn't care if some people will not like him for this. And that's what I like in him, and that's why he's also different, because so many players nowadays, maybe including me, think, okay, if I'm gonna do this, there is gonna be 10 comments after the match that he shouldn't have done it, and so we all think about it, and he doesn't, and that's what makes him different.
Willie?
Daniil, it's possible you'll be playing Marin Cilic next, and I was wondering, what do you remember from when he won the U.S. Open, one of the rare non-Big Three guys to win a major, and how would you describe him as an opponent if you are to face him?
Yeah, first of all, Marin is a great champion, definitely. So it's not an easy draw. He was in the final here in Wimbledon, almost beat Roger, was close. So tough draw, tough opponent. Huge respect to him. I think if I'm not mistaken, I was playing futures in France in a town called Mulhouse, where I won doubles with Karen Khachanov. If I'm not mistaken, I might be. And that's when he won the US Open. So I didn't see the matches, but I remember it was huge. He beat basically Kay in the final. I think in semis he beat... who did he beat? I don't remember. Roger? Rafa? Roger, I guess. But anyway, it was amazing, you know, because he was one of not so many to win a major in the era of the Big Four, where they were on top. So this is a huge achievement, and that's why I have a lot of respect for him.
Go ahead, Ben.
Daniil, just to go back to something you said at the end there about having grown up with so many of these guys who are on tour now as kids in Russian tennis around, you know, seeing them so much. Like, how much have the personalities of these players, Bublik included, but also everybody else, how much have they changed, and how much are they still the same people, you know, more or less they were when they were 12 years old or whatever? We're
definitely all different from what we were, but of course in some ways we're still the same. So it's about being more mature. I won't say the names, but some of us were really cocky when you were young. I think that's not the case anymore. So again, I didn't say the names, but yeah, I mean, we were all different. I was crazy. Rublev was crazy. If we talk about tennis court, actually, I think till some part, till some age, me and Rublev were not really friends, not at all enemies, but not like close friends. Now we really are. So everything changes, life changes. So we're all really different. But when you talk about tennis, there is always something that stays with you from the early ages.
And then can I ask, just because I don't see other hands raised, is there with the Russian players who go to Kazakhstan, I'm curious what the perception of that is in Russia. There's been a bunch of players who've done that now, but what people make of that?
Yeah, definitely a lot. There were a lot. I think maybe minimum 10 players doing it. I mean, that's because Russian Federation maybe doesn't help from one part, from one point of view, doesn't help enough the younger players. At the same time, even if they do, Kazakhstan is capable of bringing the better conditions. One thing better than what Russia is, and that's how they can get the players. Me personally, of course, I had the opportunities when I came to the top and didn't play for Davis Cup yet to to try something new, but I never wanted to. I always felt Russian, and I wanted to represent Russia and not any other country. But it can be different for some other players for some different reasons, because maybe somebody would not survive. I think Kukushkin case, he would not make a tennis career if they didn't take him. So that's a huge deal, and I will never judge it.
Okay,
Thanks.
we will conclude the press conference there.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.